Hey, Happy New Year. Okay, we have a doozy today. Grandpa picked up a trailer, a real nice one, and it's been buried for a little while. The tires prove that. We're going to be swapping tires today. They're just trailer tires, but let's see how big of a challenge these things give us. Now, surprisingly, two of these kind of held air. But you can see by the scum lines how long they've been underground. They've been underground for quite a while. And I'm wondering how bad these are going to fight me on the tire machine. Let's find out. All right, let's see what kind of mess we can get ourselves into. We're going to get right into it. This one here has no valve stem, it's ripped off. And that's a good thing because we're not going to use these old valve stems anyway. Alright. So we've got our tire machine all aired up. See how this works. I have a belief that these first two are going to be fairly easy. I got a feeling that the ones that are super flat on the bottom, the ones that stand up all by themselves, those are going to be the challenge. We're going to inspect these wheels. Yeah, the bottom of them are not very happy. So I got an old wire brush here. I'm going to knock off all the heavy stuff. Do you call this a pickle fork? If so, why? I don't know why this is a pickle fork, but I call it a pickle fork. Let me know in the comments what you think. Now, some of these wheels do have weights on them. I'm not going to worry about balancing these. For the amount of time this trailer will ever be on the road, it probably won't be an issue. I've seen plenty of trailer tires go down the road without any weights and never really have any big problems. So we're going to let it ride. Alright, we've got that old valve stem out. That's good. These wheels are surprisingly clean-ish. Cleaner than I imagined they'd be. So that's good. When I mount the new tires, I'm going to put some lube on the tire. I'm also going to use some bead sealer. We're going to pull a brand new valve stem through the wheel. just like so. See what happens here. Now these tires, they shipped from Amazon. They are Do-Run 205/75/15s. You, Mr. Camera, are fired. I'm testing out some new toys that I got for my recording abilities. And this motor is supposed to find me and track me, but it looks more like it's been partying over New Year's a little bit too much. So, we have our tire mounting paste. And we're gonna get the beads of these tires good and lubed up. That should help them slip over the wheel a whole lot easier. Kind of softens up that rubber, lubes it up. Okay? Now, these tires are collapsed down a little bit. That may help me, that may hurt me. We'll find out. But my goal is to get these tires inside this narrow spot of the wheel here, because that makes it easier for one side to be here and the other side to stretch over, all right? With our tire tool over the wheel, we can kind of guide our first little bit of the tire around, okay? So now I'm in that low spot. I'm also over the valve stem, or past the valve stem, so I won't rip my new one. We'll do the same thing for the top set. Push it over, run it around a ways, and get it down low. I'm pretty happy with that. Now we may or may not need this bead sealer, but it's essentially just a glue that hopefully will fill in any of those voids and pits on those wheels. And if I was worried about the appearance of this, I'd take more care. But right now, I want these to have function over form. So I'm not too worried if I happen to paint the side of the tire or the wheel. It's kind of like rubber cement. So when it dries, you can like rub it off. It's not a big deal. Okay? Now, I should have, and I will on the next one, I should have just painted the bottom of the wheel before I put the tire on. So right now I'm gonna just flip it over, do that side. I'll do this side and then I'll flip it back over to beat it up. Now, this tire machine has a set of air nozzles around the bottom radius of the wheel. And the idea there is that you can pick up the tire a little bit and hopefully seal the top side. And all that rush of air into the bottom will pop the tire up. Let's see how well that works. Now, this is not that easy with gloves, but it's a little chilly out here. We're gonna put the valve core back in now that it's seated. We're gonna try to put the valve core back in now that it's seated. Now, being a trailer tire, we're going to just verify our load rating. And we're at 2150 pounds at 65 PSI. That's what I was looking for. So we're just going to run it up. My machine goes up to 60, so we're just going to run it up a minute. Now on this gauge, as I'm airing up, see it's at 40 pounds right now. It'll give a burst of air and come up here and peg the gauge and then drop back down real fast. When it drops down, that kind of tells me where my tire pressure actually is with no burst of air coming through the line. So I'll make sure this gets up to 65 PSI on a normal airline, and we'll just move on to the next one. So this tire is actually holding air. It's impressive to say the least. I believe this trailer has been parked for over 15 years. Wow, that's actually very clean. Now, when I pull an old valve stem, I like to give a little bit of a tear to the back side. And, well, that just cut right through. So I don't even need to really use the tool. But if on a pretty tough valve stem, if I give it a little bit of a pre-cut, it just rips through a lot easier. So, this wheel doesn't even need a brush. So we're going to go ahead and paint the bottom of it right now. This probably isn't necessary on this one, but I've had this for probably 6 years. And I doubt I'm even halfway through it. So as many tires as I change, it's probably worth just sticking it on anyway. All right, pop the new valve stem in. We don't pull too hard, just enough so that the lip of that valve stem right there, we just pull so the lip of that pops through. Get some lube. Now this tire being so collapsed for so long, I kind of have to force it so the top of the tire is over the tool. This allows the tool to do its job where it's necessary. Run that around. Make sure that stays good and low in that groove. Push down. Pull the valve stem core, the Schrader valve. We're up to 25 pounds, and what we're going to do is just finish everything on the air hose. Now for the exciting ones. I can't say whether I'm looking forward to this or not. That didn't suck. I must say I've fought a whole lot harder tires than that. This isn't terrible. There ain't nothing wrong with about 80% of that tire. Give the back side a little slit. While we're at it, we'll just remember to put our new one in. Wow, I'm impressed. They're not that bad. Now, I don't know how old you are watching this. I don't know what you're here looking for. I don't know if you're here to learn or here to pass the time, here for some entertainment. But most of these tricks that I learned, automotive-wise, I learned at my local high school vocational program. I was in school as little as possible, but I did a lot of work at the vocational school. I did my co-op job in the morning. I went to school for an hour or two as a senior, and then I went to my vocational school and did automotive. And I gotta be careful how I say this. I love the things you learn in school. I do think most of it is important. I do think that a lot of it is just filler crap. As far as the vocational school went though, I learned so many life skills. I learned so many things. And if you have that ability to take extra courses, I know as an adult, there are other adult programs at colleges and so on and so forth for this. There's YouTube. But if you're a child, if you're a student, and you have the opportunity to bust butt and get your core classes done and get to a vocational school, by all means, I 100% support that. And I wish you would further your education with the things that you want to, not all that filler crap. So just think about that. We're gonna finish up these tires, and I appreciate you watching. All right, we have one left. This one has things growing on it. Let's see how it goes. I must say, I'm pretty impressed. I did not expect this job to be this easy. Man, other than a little bit of dirt, a little bit of tree roots, it's quite amazing how clean these actually are. It also goes to say that as far as quality materials go, they just don't make them like they used to. Ah, see? I forgot to slit that. And what do I get? I get a broken valve stem. Didn't take a whole lot to pull it out, but that extra little slit right there makes it worth it. Did you hear that over there? Must be one of my bottom beads wasn't all the way popped. That was underwhelming. I'm going to run these over here. I'm going to fill them up to 65 PSI and get them loaded up for Grandpa. Have yourself a great day. Enjoy 2024. If you want to learn something, go try it. If you want to do something, go do it. Just, you know, make it a better year than the years before. Make it a better world.